Well, hello there, business scholars. Welcome to the midpoint of our class, if you can believe that. Yes, we are at the midpoint of the class. Um, it is I, your instructor, Sri Lopez, and thank you for joining me today. What we're going to be doing is we are doing a quick little refresher and a pulse check on chapter one. As you know, you've got a midterm coming up covering chapters 1 through 5, and ideally, I'm trying to do this as like a little kind of 5-part video series um, that'll cover um, maybe 4 to 5 concepts in each video and kind of give you a bit of an overview of where to focus your efforts in when as you're preparing. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to actually show you where I got the information from, but we'll look at a couple of practice examples too. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we go. Okay, so we are looking at the Challenging Concepts report. So that's the paper that I sent out to the class via email a couple of days ago. And what that does is it compiles the results of all the topics that are from the individual chapters, and it shows me how you all performed collectively as a class. So when you scroll down to the bottom down here, when you look at like these two down here, recognize that business decisions have an impact on stakeholders and identify the effect of careful and reasoned decision making on ethical behavior. Notice that no one in class missed any of the questions related to that. Where the questions came from is they came from your SmartBook activities in your ebook. So where it has the textbook where you can actually read the chapter and then you answer those the check your knowledge questions that kind of go with it, and you can also rate your level of comfort or confidence with these questions. And so that's information that is provided to me that I can then analyze and see, okay, we're doing well here, but if I'm seeing, multiple people missing the same concept, then at that point that I know it's like, oh, wait, we probably need to go back and tighten that up a little bit. So you'll recognize some of these from the email that I sent to you. So up here, when you look at these topics up here, recall the aspects of societies that value individual freedoms and recall the process of risk assessment, which was a standalone question on the discussion board. Hint, hint. Why am I mentioning that? You might be seeing that again in a certain form. Then what happened here is we had 8 people in class miss their questions that were related to it. And it doesn't mean that it was necessarily that same question, because there's a big bank of questions in there, and the way those questions could have been presented may have been different, but we did have 8 people, so nearly a third of the class missed those questions that they were given over that topic. Or you may have noticed, like, as you were answering questions, like, well, wait, didn't I just answer something like this? Well, wait, they gave me another one. It's because, yeah, it picked up that you may have missed that question and they wanted to reinforce your knowledge with it. Okay, and then we had 7 people miss that, recall the process of risk assessment. But I know that we've gotten that one taken care of because I've actually looked at your responses on the discussion board, and bravo. So that was able to, you guys were able to demonstrate that you not only are able to define the process of risk assessment, but you're able to apply that concept in everyday life, especially in the workplace, in your respective workplaces right now. Let me see. Let me go back. So this is the report I was referring to, just to kind of allow you to peek behind the curtain a little bit. So I'm able to see the assignment progress itself, about how long it takes you to work on it. So this is how I gauge how much to give you guys, because I don't want to overload you, but I want to make sure you get enough information in there. This is one thing that I need to watch too. because this is telling me how confident you were and your comfort level is with the 18 concepts that are in question. And we had 15% of the respondents that were incorrect, but they answered the question with a high level of confidence. Like, it was like, the answer is C, final answer. And it was like, no, it's wrong. And it's like, really? And it could have been one of those situations. You know how sometimes you have those sometimes, always, never, like those phrases that make you kind of look up, or all of the above except. You have to watch those keywords. So it could have been one of those things where you saw it and it's like, oh, wait, I know this. And you missed that one little word in there and it was actually the opposite. That happens, right? Happens to all of us. I've done it too. So let's take a look at our amazing little sample questions that we have here. And the first one that I wanted to look at focuses on the topic of ethical values from chapter 1. So I would take some notes or some screenshots over this section. You're welcome to follow along with the sample questions as well to kind of gauge how your preparation has been going over the past couple of days, since I haven't assigned any specific homework. It was just start refreshing and start reviewing to prepare for this exam. And the way the exam is going to be set up, there's 25 questions, 5 questions from each chapter. That's it. We're going to get in, we're going to handle our business, we're getting out, we're moving on to the next chapter. All right. So let's check out sample question 1. The concept title: identify the kind of well-being promoted by ethical values. One of the important elements of ethical values is that A, they value the welfare of one person over that of others. B, they require that the promotion of human well-being be done partially. C, they do not promote a selfish and personal well-being. Or D, they do not have to be reasonable from all relevant points of view. So go ahead and take your screenshot, jot down your question, and go ahead and mark what your answer is. So go ahead and make an educated guess, or if you are answering with a high level of confidence, go on and lock in that final answer right now. Ready? The correct answer is they do not promote a selfish and personal well-being, because remember, when they're talking about this concept of well-being in this context, they're talking about what is going to benefit the most number of people. So the most number of consumers, the most number of stakeholders, and everything like that. You're not approaching whatever decision that you have to make, but what this egocentric, self-serving attitude. Like, well, it's going to benefit me, and I don't know about the rest of y'all. I guess y'all will figure it out. No, that's not what we're doing in this particular situation. Let's see, there's another example related to that. Let's look at this one. Recognize the ends of ethical values. Identify a feature of ethical values. A, they partially promote human well-being. B, they may lead to either ethical or unethical results. C, they serve the ends of human welfare. Or D, they may encourage a personal and selfish well-being. Go ahead and mark your response right now. All right. Let's check our knowledge. Okay, if you selected C, they serve the ends of human welfare, congratulations, you got that question correct. Okay, so let's look at where that is in the book. So I can't give you the exact question or anything like that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an idea of where to look and how to move through the book efficiently. Because 5 chapters is a lot of material to cover in a couple of days. And this is only an 8-week course, right? And most of you are taking other classes. Most of y'all are working full time, have families, all that other stuff. So we're going to work smart here. See this lovely little magnifying glass? That's going to be your best friend in this class. I kid you not. So what you need to do is, remember that lovely little list I gave you? Start working with these little keywords. Identify the kind of well-being promoted by ethical values. That looks familiar, doesn't it? So does that one. We just saw a practice question on that. Might want to pay attention to those. So let's use our keywords right here, ethical values, and let's just see what comes up if we type that in. I know I already have it, but for demonstration purposes, let me show you guys how it works. Okay, so what it does is it scans the book for all instances of ethical values. It can take you straight to the key terms or the glossary. The nice thing about key terms is if you click on key terms and you find it, it gives you the page number. And I know based on this number that is chapter 1. And that takes us here. The other nice feature that you guys may have discovered about your book is that you can highlight, and it has all sorts of fun little bells and whistles in here. So like I highlighted this little spot. You can change the color. You can make yourself a quick little note, like right here to give you a note. You can have it read the selected text. So that way, if you're an auditory learner, that's probably better. Help with that eye strain and everything too, to listen to it. And that way, that's going to help you probably retain that information, because remember, you're writing it down, you are reading it, you're highlighting it, and you may possibly be listening to that section. So you're hitting all these different senses, all these different learning styles to help move that information from short-term memory over to long-term memory, just in time for your midterm, and to carry forward into your case study or final project that we're going to do at the end of the semester. Okie doke. So I'm going to end this video right here because I don't want these to be too long. I just needed to go over some of the overall things that we were going to have in here. So let me pause this real quick. All right, so I want to thank you all for tuning in today for the chapter 1 review and just kind of looking at what those challenging concepts are. As always, if you need to get in touch with me, feel free to send me an email or IM me on Teams. Pop in during virtual office hours. For our class, they take place every Saturday at 6 p.m. You don't have to stay the entire time. You can pop in for 5 minutes, ask your question, or just say hello, and go on with the rest of your day if you need to. Okay? And most importantly, number 1, take care of each other. And number 2, remember, you've got this. Bye.